Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannons. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Blake Delaney has to move out of the way.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to your Tuesday night broadcast here on SRW TV. Tonight we bring to you the simrigs.com V8 Supercars Amateur Series. This is round 6 thanks to Warren and Brown Tools for season 3 of 2023, and we are hosted here tonight at Winton Motor Raceway. I am Nathan ShiBBy Howden, and in the comms box next to me is Thomas Preacher Riley.
Good evening, ShiBBy. I was expecting a good evening, mate. But
Yeah, I know.
anyway, good evening, ShiBBy. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to SRW for our V8 Supercars Am Series. Coming to you tonight for our, round 6 of the season here at Winton. Sprint format tonight. So we've got normal qualifying, no top 10 shootout tonight. So your qualifying will set the grid for race 1, which is a 20-minute race, and then race 2, which is a reverse top 10 leading into the 40 minutes. 2.95 kilometre circuit here, 12 corners, I should say, and quite a busy little racetrack. Very tight, especially through that northern. Is it northern? I think it is northern part of the racetrack. On the map there, through some double hairpins. And watch for a lot of tyre wear, especially rear and loaded side tyres around here. They'll be copping a bit of a beating.
Yes, they probably will, mate. I'm not so accustomed being behind the wheel, so I will just take your word for that. But these V8s definitely will tear up tyres without too much of a problem with just the sheer power they've got behind them. I'm definitely looking forwards to seeing the AMs out here this evening jump out onto the track. But before we get to that, let's have a look at our standings as of round 5. So this is round 6. This is taken directly from the points table from last week. As you can see, car number 23 of Tim Nicol for Quantum Pecky's Performance Racing is leading the way, but only by 1 point from Team M1 Racing. Darren Crosby there on 557. Jace Douglas from LMR Esports having a great drive this season as well, only trailing behind by 23 points. Troy Sipple, Quantum Pecky's Performance Racing as well, only trailing by 36 points. Liam Tipping for JTIT Race on Oz. Great drive from him this season as well. 510 points down in P5. And if we look all the way down towards P10, where Bruce White sits for LMR Esports, there's only 143 points that separate the top 10. That is essentially 1 round win. So it is.
Yeah, it's very tight, very, very tight throughout the midfield and through the top as well. I think this championship is still right up there and open for anyone to take.
Yeah, 100%, mate. We take Jordan McDonnell. Jordan McDonnell. Oh, gosh. He has actually retired from the season. He is going to look at just sticking through with the 86s, but we saw what one driver could come through and do in just a couple of rounds, and it's pretty easy to move himself up the table there. Troy Dooley, after an absolute solid drive on Sunday night, I'm hoping big things from him tonight and through the rest of the season, as he actually took out overall winner in the Pro-Am on Sunday. So great to see those AMs really getting up there and challenging the pro drivers as well.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great, certainly a great race last week for the AMs, but also for the Pro-Ams as well. I think Willow Springs threw out a lot of sort of surprises a bit with how much action was going on and how good it was for overtaking. But of course, that last corner was something else in terms of offs and big offs for that matter. There was no grip anywhere. Around Winton, probably expect something similar through turn 5, the long sweeping left-hander around the skid pan. Skid pan on your left-hand side. It's quite a long corner, so expect a little bit of action there. We're jumping into qualifying now, though. Bang on 7:30 local time here on the eastern coast. So all the drivers will start heading out now, ready to go for what should be a very, very action-packed race this evening.
I do think so, mate. The AMs have been absolutely turning it on week in, week out. The action has been phenomenal from start to finish. And we've seen 3 top 10 shootouts in a row with 60-minute races afterwards, changing it all up this evening with one a 20-minute sprint and then a 40-minute. So it's going to be really interesting the way that the drivers settle back into that sort of format instead of the standard 60-minute.
Yeah, I think there'll be a little bit of adjustment that'll go on with all the drivers in terms of just getting used to, you know, you've got a different bit of a grid pattern this evening. And, you know, do you go all out in that first 20 minutes or do you take it easy and just get yourself into a good position so that you can capitalise for the 40-minute race going forward, which does also have a pit stop involved. And I wouldn't be surprised tonight if we do end up with a safety car or two this evening. I think it's. I think this track just has the makings that we might very well see one. We will jump on board in just a second with one of the drivers as they get ready for their lap. Car number 55 of who's that up the front? Stephen Kennedy will start us off. The lap record in real life around here was set by Fabian Coulthard way back in 2016, which was a 19.7 in an FGX Falcon. So I think we might be just about to beat those times tonight. Stephen Kennedy down into turn 1. Just run it up on the curb on the left and then the right-hander. Be careful of the exit curve there because there's a few issues where you'll just get sent into space. Heavy down on the brakes into turn 3. Want to tuck the car in nice and early. Use all the exit curve. Turn 4, it's quite a high-speed right-hander. Don't want to get too easy on the throttle. Now through turn 5, long sweeping left-hander. Just using the engine to slow the car down. Careful on the curbs on the exit for 6. Then into turn 7, heavy on the brakes again. It's a first gear corner, short shift second to get the exit. Hard on. Turn 7 now. Tuck it back in. You want to sit sort of middle track before you turn in for turn 8. Heavy on the brakes now. And then fire it back up. Good spot down here for an overtake in the race is into turn 9. Get it tucked in nicely on the left-hand side. Then use all the exit on the right. Another long straight here. I say long, it's considerably long for this track. And down into turn 11. 2 purples already. So 4 sectors around this track tonight. Focusing on getting drive out of the corners is really important for this section of the racetrack. But then it's all about mid-corner speed and grip in the other half. Does well, 18.9 to start us off with for our first representative lap time. Troy Dooley in there with a 19.3. I'll be expecting those times to drop as we get further along. Nickel up there, 18.94, so just got 5 hundredths over Stephen Kennedy. So it's a good start from everyone starting their laps out strongly here.
During practice, we saw mid to high 18s to low 19s sort of being the average sort of time of your top 10 to top 15.
I wonder how much of them were, how much of those lap times were just holding back on the pace a little bit, not wanting to give away too much. Joe Marnie now coming across the line. Goes third, 19.2. So he's in a decent spot there. He'll be looking to capitalise. Jace Douglas, 19.8. So got a little bit of time to find himself further up towards the front of the field, but we know what his pace has been like over the last couple of weeks for sure.
Forgot that there was 2 finish lines on this track.
There are 2 finish lines there. Yeah. So we're racing the national circuit, which is the main pit lane. All of that section was extended. So as you come down the run down into turn 9, the tight left-hander, that actually goes straight ahead onto the club circuit, which was the original layout. And then you cut down to basically where pit exit is on this layout and then in through the chicane. So just where Stevens passed now, that little access road is for the club layout. 15-minute qualifying session, so not a whole lot of time. I just saw, I think that was Hodgkinson, or was it Nielsen? It was up over on those exit curbs out of turn 2. There it is.
It was Hodgkinson, yes.
Hodgkinson had a bit of a moment over those exit curbs out of turn 2, which is something you have to be really careful about. Joe Marnie going again here, I think.
He went better than his last, but not enough to jump Kennedy.
19.1, so he's just off the track now. So I think he might have used up all of his tyres on that second run. So I think we might be seeing a bit of 2-lap pace here. Everyone just stopping on pit lane, letting people out, being nice and safe about it. Big clump of cars in the middle.
Tippy. What's this man doing? On 3 personal bests so far for the JTIT Race on Oz driver. See where he can slot himself up.
14, so 20.1. So I think he's one that we've got to look out for. Maybe he's doing that sort of idea of an out lap and then a little bit of a 95% lap, not taking too much out of the tyres and then letting yourself go again. I feel like that might have some value here. 2 of the M1 racing cars here with Burridge, followed by what's his teammate Crosby in the 66 car. So Burridge can manage here as he comes across the line. 2 greens in there, does jump himself up 19.8. And Crosby does improve, but doesn't improve his position. It's going to push on now though. Douglas is going to come through as well. Pavlovich. Got 2 greens in the first 2 sectors. Can't quite close the lap out, but does improve, but not in his position either. So 20.033, only 200ths away from Reese DeGoey. I've done it again. I did it last week as well. Reese DeGoey.
Sorry, Reese.
Well, halfway through this qualifying session here, Tim Nicol is the better by half a tenth over Stephen Kennedy. Joe Marnie and Darren Crosby in 3 and 4, and Troy Dooley in 5th. Some drivers who we expect to see some better lap times include Andrew Cowan, Callum Hodgkinson, Travis Stanley. Andrew Cowan, in fact, jumps himself up into 18th, setting his first valid lap on over 20.79. Jason Douglas sitting outside the 10 at the moment. So, got 1 green to start with. Tim Nichols got 2 purples though.
Douglas up into 6th there.
Tim Nicol, what has he done? 18.8. So it puts a little bit more daylight in between himself and Stephen Kennedy. Opens up that gap to outside a 10th of a second now. Troy Dooley, who's just jumped up there into 4th. So Troy Dooley in the 333 car doing nicely at the moment.
Vigor as well, 119.454. Knocks Douglas down a peg. Bruce White just moved into P13, knocking DeGoey down a peg. Andrew Cowan coming back around. How we doing, Jordan? Thanks for joining us tonight, and you too, Harry. Harry says, great to see an Australian track finally. Mate, we did a whole season of just Aussie tracks, and then everybody was over 'em.
Well, we did the Ashes, yes.
No, prior to that, before you came on board, mate, we did like the most, all the Australian tracks we could. Doddsy also says, should be track cam, should we get all the real world camera setup? I wouldn't even know what they were if they hit me in the face. Wouldn't know what they look like. Alright, everybody's sort of panning out, although Reese was on some good times there. Didn't improve by 1,000th of a second. So close to his time he set prior. Hodgkinson still yet to set a lap. Will that time be valid? Lots of people lining up on the pit exit. That is going to be chaos tonight if we have a lot of pit overlap. Everybody's starting to settle down. Brett Taylor with a green, sitting in provisional 18 at the moment. Can he go better? He will. He'll actually jump up into P16, knocking Weston and Cowan down. Liam Tipping having another dig at it as well. Oh, he's just locked up. He was not looking too bad there. Sitting in provisional P9, Travis Nielsen now trying to get a better time in. Any better? No, didn't register. Hodgkinson now needs to get a valid lap in. Just under 4 minutes to go. Has lit up the table, all 3 greens so far. Orange in the P20, just above Steven Sinkovic. So hoping he can get another lap out there and really start improving on that. Daly improved. No, Daly still hasn't managed to get an actual registered lap time in. We love reading the chat, Dodsy. That's the point of a live broadcast. Sinkovic on some personal bests here. Can he get into that 121 margin area? Must have run it off track because that didn't count. Unfortunate for Stephen there. I'm sure he'll definitely want to get a better time in. Are you eating bloody ice cream again?
No. My cameras are all going weird.
Your cameras are going weird?
Yeah.
What camera pack have you got loaded?
I've got yours. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, we'll do a restart. We'll see what happens.
Hang on. I just refreshed my camera pack, so see what happens. Lawn now will get a good lap in and squeeze on up into the top 10 there. Right into provisional P7 with only 2 minutes left to go of this racecraft qualifying session. Liam Tipping having another dig. Still sitting in the 5th grid at the moment. Everybody else has really panned out now. Cracking laps from Nickel and Kennedy, both into the 18s.
And Marnie not setting the time alight at the moment.
They get Tipping close to his teammate. It won't. He will go better, but not enough to move up that table. Absolutely nothing in it.
Lon and Jason Douglas have matching lap times. Do they not? 19.536 plays a 19.536.
555. 535, sorry. It's a 535 and a 536.
It's rounding on the two systems.
Yeah. No, it may as well be matching. Cowan couldn't improve. Nielsen.
Nielsen didn't either.
I don't think so. Taylor now, the only one with a personal best sector, sitting in provisional P16. Oh, Oh, and he won't get around the track as it is a sprint session. So once that 15 minutes is up, that is the end of the racecraft qualifying session.
Well, that's the qualifying session finished. Tim Nicol takes home the racecraft pole position with an 18.867. Stephen Kennedy will line up alongside him off row 2. Joe Marnie 2.5 tenths away from Tim. Troy Dooley in 4. Darren Crosby and Rick Vigor will line up on row 3. Lorne McKee and Jason Douglas with very, very close lap times off of 4. Liam Tipping, Mark Houghton out of 5. Chris Burridge and Troy Sipple out of 6. Bruce White, Reese DeGoey out of 7. Petar Pavlovich, Brett Taylor, Scott Weston and Andrew Cowan 8 and 9. Travis Daly, Callan Hodgkinson out of row 10. Travis Nielsen and Stephen Sinkovich out of 11. And then it'll be Mark Peck who should line up. He'll line up in 24th position on the grid. And Shane Newen's there as well. So we'll have a driver off of 12 and a driver off of 13 by themselves, with Daniel Fritz and Tyson McAvoy being our race directors, safety car drivers this evening. Getting ready for a green flag start here. Everyone lined up next to each other. There's no staggered start grid here at Winton. Just waiting for a green flag here. Revs rise. We get ready for a start here at Winton. 20-minute sprint coming up. Green and we're away. Dooley gets a great start off the second row. Will challenge down into turn 1 on Kennedy. Can't quite get there. Does hold on to the position though. Well, Marnie comes back at him. Douglas looking to make it 3 wide down into turn 3. Difficult to make a move stick there. Marnie holds on to P3. It's Nicol, Kennedy, Marnie, Dooley. And then this battle pack with Vigor, Douglas and Crosby tipping just in behind. Looks like everyone's got away cleanly off the start. A little bit of contact there. Douglas does well to hold on to the car. Just got pushed a little bit wide and ended up on the wrong side of the curb there at turn 6. Through 7 and 8 now. And switching back on each other, just making sure they can stay in line astern. Single file through here at the moment. Douglas has to serve a slowdown. Would have been too far off the track there, got pushed wide, has to serve a slowdown. Oh! DeGoey from a long way back. Does make contact after the apex though. With 66 going slow as well. Is that a slowdown?
Brett Taylor, is it?
Crosby, contact Pavlovich. Pavlovich, Crosby and White all involved in that one. Pavlovich with a lot of damage on the right-hand side of that car, right front and right door. Everyone needs to be careful heading in there. Got a driver peeling off to pits already. Maybe a jump start back there. Nicol leads. Got a decent gap over Kennedy. Marnie is just a little bit further away.
Your car's going off track at the moment, mate.
That's Winton for you. Cars going off everywhere. Cowan up to 13th at the moment. Cowan looking for a move down into turn 7. Low in the rev range. You can hear him just being really easy on the throttle. Doesn't want to overexcite the rear tyres. Nicol, Kennedy and Marnie is the top 3 still. Crosby looking for a move on White after that incident with Pavlovich off of down in the turn 11 on the first lap. Barney looking on best he can. Ayla going up the inside of Sinkovic. Gets that move done nicely. Lots of damage to the front of that car though. That's a big bite out of the right front. Oh, ooh. Crosby was looking up the inside of White there. Hodgkinson challenging Nielsen for the 13th position. Can't quite get a run when you're trying to be narrow through turn 8. Turn 9 can't quite be close enough. Dick with the fastest lap of the race of a 19.4 on that last lap. Kennedy 0.6 away. So Nichols open up that gap now to just outside 1 second. Down around the skid pan at turn 5. Modulate the throttle nicely. Can take a little bit of that inside curb at 6. Can't be too greedy on it though. Short shifts to second to get the exit. And then without overexciting the rear tyres, very easy to do at that corner. Bit going on here, Crosby with Nielsen. So Nielsen's dropped right back. He's fallen off the back of Hodgkinson. In fact, he was in front of Hodgkinson as we got a drive-through penalty here for Chris Burridge. See what's happened here. So Hodgkinson just dives it down there. Just gets it pulled up in time. It's a good move in the end. And then we see what's happened here to Nielsen. Tries to get back up the inside. Hodgkinson swoops around the outside and holds him out there. As Nielsen just pushed a bit hard into turn 5. We'll see here. Looks okay, just gets up on the curb. Car still settled. Locks up deep. Into turn 7. And through turn 8, just trying to reposition his car and get back up the inside. So Crosby in 14th. Needs to find a way forward to at least 10th to get himself reverse grid pole. At the moment, that's Travis Daly. And the 777 car just in front of Weston. This battle here for 10th spot, which will be for reverse grid pole. Crosby getting past Hodgkinson now. Got a good exit, obviously, out of turn 10. Burridge just letting through some cars there. Given he's just served a penalty, so he's already now a lap down. Tipple getting up the inside of Taylor. Taylor coming back at him though. Two cars with lots of damage.
Three-way battle here with Marnie, Dooley and Vigor. This is for P3 in our heat race here tonight, which is only 20 minutes, only 7 minutes in. I feel like we've been we're already near the end. Another drive-through penalty. Car 054 5, which is Stephen Kennedy. Is that right?
Bruce White.
Oh, Bruce White. Why is that? Oh, yep. There's 2s. Bruce White, 055 for contact.
And Stephen Kennedy, 5-5.
Yeah, yep. Right, Marnie's letting Vigor and Dooley do the battling behind. Well, he tries to catch that gap to Kennedy. And the 2 front runners, Tim Nicol and Stephen Kennedy, are really starting to get away from this secondary pack now.
The gap was in and about between Nicol and Kennedy was, Marnie's gone deep. The turn 7. Saw a lock up there from Dooley as well. Marnie really struggling with the rear tyres of that car at the moment.
Oh, something's happened with Hodgkinson. He's just dropped 3 positions very, very quickly. Was up 5 spots, Callan. Now only up 2.
Travis Daly up 9 into 10th at the moment is a very good performance. But in saying that, he's really under threat here from Western whilst he's trying to capitalise and trying to get past Reese to Goey. His teammate in front, leading the way for the PSR team tonight.
White's now serving his drive through. These lads, I think they're catching to Goey. They are catching to Goey at a rapid
right on the
pace.
Back of him. Right on the back of him a little bit earlier in this lap. To Goey's just doing what he needs at the moment to just stay in front. To Western there, just trying to get a better exit out of turn 9. Give himself a chance down into turn 10. Quite be close enough. Focus on the exit here. Looks like he got a better exit than Daly, but Daly's going to go defensive on the inside. Weston will switch back on him, try and look for the move into turn 11. Not quite close enough this time by.
Oh, that's Cowan and Crosby drag racing across the line there. When did that happen?
Crosby's still there, just bumps Cowan wide. Cowie, be careful of the curbs.
Battles are starting to heat up. Liam Tipping is now on the back of Rick Vigor.
Marty's just locked up again, down into turn 8. Tipping right under the rear wing of that Angry Birds Racing Mustang. Lights up the rear just a little bit too much. It was looking very good for the run.
Oh, I can see a game of cat and mouse happening with these two. Daly's also in a battle here as well. Down into final corner. That was close.
Very close between the teammates here. I think what would be good for these guys is the PSR boys just go, right, there's no threat to either of us in terms of Daly not going to try and overtake Reese, especially when you're looking at a reverse grid pole for one of your PSR drivers. But there's a risk that the Western will catch you and take that away. So I think if these two boys are talking to each other, they'd go, no battle. just try and pull away because we want to try and capitalise on our result here. Get ourselves a reverse grid pole. See how the cars just bounce.
Caught the back of these three. Crosby now joins this battle for P9. Are we doing Jordan McAdonnell? Thanks for dropping in tonight, mate. Thanks for everybody for dropping in tonight.
Marnie and Dooley have managed to pull away from Vigor. Now the Vigor's under threat from Tipping, McKee and Douglas now. Bit of a 4-car battle going on for 5th place. Oh, did McKee just have to catch the car then? I think he did.
It looked like it. I think there was a bit of a lock-up prior to. As we changed over to them, I saw a quick puff of smoke.
Tipping trying to get a run. Parks up on the curb looking for a move. Not quite able to. See the puffs of smoke down into turn 8 there. Turn 7. Definitely see the cars are at the edge of their braking. They're turning a little bit earlier just to try and get into that corner. Turn 10 deceptively tight. And these reasonably quick corners to finish the lap. Really focus on getting an exit if you want to make an overtake down into turn 1. Slipstream does help you a little bit down this straight. You're not on peak speed, but you just get a little bit closer under the rear wing. Try and focus on getting a run through turns 1 and 2. Tipping there, wanted to send it up the inside, makes contact. And unfortunately, Rigging trying to catch the car, just sat on the nose of Tipping. Both of them lose out. That will go to race control, though. Tipping will, that incident will get looked at, and Vigor's just struggling to get going again. He doesn't have any damage to any of the wheels on his wagon. Goey, Daly and Weston all jump up the spot now. Weston sitting on the reverse grid pole, so Crosby's even more incentivised now to try and catch back up and try and get a move done. There's only 4 and a bit minutes left in this race.
Oh, I see.
Damage on the side of Goey's car.
Daly get loose on the accelerator there out of that corner. Few tank slappers and away he goes. Lesson.
Oh, Goey's run deep. Almost invited Weston up. Doesn't get a good exit, has to go defensive to cover from Crosby, who's now up the inside. Crosby has the overlap. Waits a while, has to catch it over the curbs. Oh, gets a great exit. And will get past Weston in the end. Crosby now up into the reverse grid. Pole position for the second race.
These lads went from having Weston and Vigor hot on their tail to now it looks to be a very dialed in Darren Crosby. Absolutely hunting the two performance sim racing drivers down.
Liam Tipping with that drive-through penalty for contact at turn 3, which we saw. Fortunately undid Vigor's race. So Tipping will have to serve that, which will drop him a fair way down the order. Saw where Bruce White popped out down in 19th, so
Tipping into the pits now. You can see him just driving in.
Here comes Crosby.
nearly 0.5 of a second faster a lap as of their last lap to Daly. So he's definitely showing that he's got a bit more pace in the tyres at the moment. The thing is, Scott Weston hasn't gone anywhere either. He's still not far off the back of Crosby. So it looks like Stephen Kennedy has slowly closed the gap on Tim
I
Nicol.
wonder how much of that, though, is Tim just looking after his tyres, just making sure he gets to the end.
Only a minute and a half to go right now.
Will this be the white flag? We'll keep our eyes on what Barney is waving. You see McKee just run deep down in the turn 10 and to bring him back on. Yeah, so McKee down into turn 10. He's got pressure from Douglas behind, just grabs it on the grass. And unfortunately does manage to pull it up before the for some more grass, so he doesn't lose as much time as he would have, but here we go. To Goey, Daly, Crosby and Weston.
White flag,
Tipping,
mate.
copying that. Yeah, white flag. To Goey, with Tipping copying that penalty, it means that Weston now is in reverse grid pole. So this is now all for points.
Travis Daly up 11 spots. Honestly, this man has been driving so well over the last couple of rounds, making big moves. Tim Nicol will come across the line in P1 to take out your heat race here tonight. Stephen Kennedy will come across in P2, and Joe Marnie with a much better finishing position. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. In P3, Troy Dooley with an astounding drive. I did say watch out for this man if he drives anything like he did on Sunday. We'll pull into P4, Jace Douglas from LMR Esports. I'd also like to mention P1, 2, 3 and 4 never moved from their grid position. They finished exactly how they gridded.
Very good result for them all. Well, McKee with that little error. Does unfortunately only finish 6th, but that's still up 1 spot, so that's a good game. Reese DeGoey holds on over Travis Daly, Darren Crosby and Scott Weston. So Scott Weston starting off the reverse grid pole position. In the next one, Rick Vigor and Andrew Cowan. Cowie managed to make up 6 spots in that. Travis Nielsen up 8 as well. Brett Taylor and Callan Hodgkinson in 14th and 15th. Troy Sipple down in 16th, down 4 spots, so he'll be hoping to make his way forward again in the next 40-minute race. And then Liam Tipping with that penalty ends up dropping further back through the field down into 17th. Petar Pavlovich and Bruce White. Petar had that really unfortunate incident down into turn 11. And then Bruce White and Mark Houghton in 19 and 20.
Hello, grid.
There's a warm-up.
No, don't think so.
There's a warm-up on the thing.
Oh.
Bit of a 5-minute warm-up there.
Wow. Go and grab a drink, ladies and gentlemen. Because we are up for a 40-minute race next. Ty Delaney, thanks for joining us, mate. You're too good for the AMs now on a Tuesday, mate. You can only race the Sunday races, or you guys been busy at home? Because I actually don't think did I see you on Sunday? Oh, gosh, mate. The week is a blur.
I saw that Blake Delaney was racing Scops on Sunday night.
Yeah, that's why our Pro Am series was a few less. It wasn't that bad. I think we ended up with 23 on the track, but we were definitely missing some of the bigger drivers, of
Regulars,
course.
yeah.
We know they're off at Scops.
Yeah. Tell you what, they did Belle Isle. there was a Belle Isle. No, Belle Isle or Imola? I think it was Imola. Imola on Sunday night. Jeez, it was carnage. Absolute carnage. Should we get Steve in for a quick chat?
Yeah, let's do
Giving us an update on what SRW's doing whilst he's in the car.
And he goes straight off track.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, guys. I'm in P2 right now.
Lovely. Well done.
Practice
well
session
done.
2. I managed to get practice session 1 out of the way and did 20 odd laps. And now I'm in P2 trying to get some laps in on a better setup. Because I was driving my last stint on a Sandown setup.
Yeah, look, Sandown probably isn't the setup you want to use here. I mean, you could make an argument the bumps and everything, but the track here is reasonably smooth. It's just when you hit the curbs that they upsets the car a little bit.
Well, I've got a different setup now. Fellow member in the room just said, look, try this, mate, and see how you go. So I thought, okay, let's see how it goes. And it feels heaps better, a lot more traction around these corners. I do like this track. And it's a shame I haven't had time to practice, but it's a lot of fun. What was the action like on our broadcast?
It was pretty good. There were a lot of close battles, like 3 or 4 car battles. The battle for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th went right down to the wire. I think they were all split by less than a second from 1st to 10th, 7th to 10th. So it was, it was very good action there.
I was sitting in 18th for a bit there and just took that corner around the tree a bit wide and touched the dirt and thought, you know what, I better not try to get back on track because I'll take 3 cars out with me.
Could have been exciting.
Could have been, but that's not the excitement I want to portray on the battles out there.
Well, who's gonna crash for us if you're not?
Well, you know, I think those days are limiting these days, man. The only time I'm really going off track these days is if I push too hard or if I'm trying to get out of the way for someone and I sacrifice my lap for them. So, yeah, and things like this where I've just gone a little bit too wide because I'm trying to push.
It's not because you're being distracted, is it?
No, not at all. I've got a phone ringing in the back.
I thought there was a phone ring.
Phone ringing, talking to you guys, and I'm thinking to myself, why would you even bother talking to someone like me who doesn't even know what this tree's called? Is it a gum tree? Yeah, it's a gum tree. You guys should see what this is like in VR. This is such a great track to drive. We'll give you a 360 view about it. What do you reckon?
Hey, this is where we did that burnout comp. Gosh, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I should have gone in there.
You get disqualified from the session.
No, it's not. At least it'll be humorous rather than just embarrassing. I've actually got to go back in the pit because I had an unsafe pit exit. And the session's going live anyway.
Yeah, mate. Well, good luck.
You guys have fun?
We just want to drag you in here and annoy you for a little bit.
Why the hell not?
All right, mate.
Alrighty, mate. Good luck.
Good luck, lads. Cheers.
Now let's...
As we get ready for the grid here for our feature race this evening, 40 minutes with the one mandatory stop. Scott Weston will line up off the front row alongside Darren Crosby, Travis Daly and Reece DeGoey, PSR cars 3 and 4. Lorne McKee and Jason Douglas, Troy Dooley, Joe Marnie, Stephen Kennedy and our sprint race winner Tim Nicol will line up out of 10. Rick Vega and Andrew Cowan off of row 6. Everyone from 11th down to the final place are all as they finish in that last race. So if you've made up some positions in that first race, you'll be looking to do it again here. Almost all the cars on grid now. Should be getting ready for a start in only a couple of seconds.
Just waiting a couple more cars to hit the grid. Hodgkinson is now on the grid.
Revs rise. 5 lights ahead of the drivers and we're away. Lots of wheel spin further back in the pack. Rick Vega ducks out. Weston didn't get the best start. Decided to sidestep, cover the inside for turn 1. Daly manages to jump to Goey. Crosby gets a great start. He's out and away already. Jace Douglas looking up the inside of the Goey. There's contact. We've got a car around, 2 cars around. Everyone's just streaming around, just trying to get around. These 2 cars stop. Oh, Jace Douglas just makes contact with Steven Sinkovich as well. So the 3 cars involved. So Tim Nicol. Joe Marnie behind him, Cowie pressuring Joe Marnie. These 2 drivers, if you think back to last season, race 1, were battling it out at Spa. Haven't really seen them together too much for the rest of the season. And this season so far.
Wilson just made a big mistake. Dooley is going to commit to the overtake here. Nielsen a bit squirrely on the brakes again. That makes it a bit easier. And Cowie's off.
around.
I don't know where that energy came from, but there it was. Patar now and Stephen Kennedy and one racing team. A lot of movement in the top 10. What's happening? Weston's is
gone
off.
deep at turn 1, turn 2, just lost the car. Only lost the 1 spot to Travis Daly. But Crosby's now got a 2.6 second lead at the front.
Yeah, yep, that's a big lead.
Tim Nicol in 4th and Joe Marnie in 5th. So they've got some threat coming from behind, that's for sure. Dooley and then Nielsen and Vigor. Vigor might look for a move here. Vigor looks down the inside. Side by side. Lots of rubbing. So that was a Kennedy. Stipple looking for a move as well. So lots of drivers here looking very eager to make up a few positions. So Cowan dropped from basically 6th all the way down to 21st after his error at turn 10 last lap. Hodgkinson looking up the inside here.
Oh, Newlands.
Newland, I think, just ran a little bit deep. Just trying to hold the car on the exit.
Oh, he's just come back onto track and taken Cowie and Sinkovich out. That was a big collateral damage style track re-entry. Not sure if it could be helped where he was. But he was sliding off track straight back into the front of other cars.
Down in the pit lane, drive-through penalty for car 88. So Jace Douglas does cop that drive-through in the end. Tried contact at turn 3. Houghton in the Accelerate Sim Racing car, sitting there nicely at the moment in 13th. He's up 7 spots. Nicol hammering the back of Weston now. And it wouldn't be too long until Nicol was on the back. We're just going to tuck him behind for this turn 11 and turn 12.
Weston
Look to try and get the exit here. Got really good traction out of there. He's got a good run. Going to jink right and go left. Long way up the inside. Jams on the brakes. Gets it pulled up.
Great move by Nicol there.
Yeah.
Clean as a
Lots
whisker.
of dirt for Daly. There was a lot of tyre smoke then. I thought he might have had a bit of an error. Crosby's pulled out a 6.5 second lead at the front. He was a full 2 seconds faster than Daly on the last lap. 2 seconds.
That is quick. Oh, we have Petar
Pavlovich.
Pavlovich.
He's already up 9 spots. Trying to make up for that incident in race 1. Nichols already within 3/10 of Daly in front. Nichols just flying at the moment out there. Late move down to the inside for turn 1. Can't quite get the move done. It was a very late dive.
But you're giving him another half a second and he was making that move.
Yeah, if the straight was about 5 metres longer, he was there. Daly's just run off track there out of turn 3. And invite Nickel. Nickel will have a look now into turn 7. Through turn 6, look to try and get the run on the exit. Daly covers. Nickel tries to get back underneath him. Can't quite get the move done there. Nickel trying to get the overlap. Nickel's going to try and look for a move here down into turn 10. Can't quite get it done. Daly covers. Nickel will definitely have a look here into turn 11 though. If he can get any space, he's going to have to go to the outside. Try and do the switchback here. Wider entry, try and get underneath him. Not quite. Daly does well, drives it off the corner. Oh, Daly, lots of tyres, wheel spin there. Nickel's going to have to go the long way around. Daly driving very defensive at the moment. Making it very difficult for Nickel, who does get around him under brakes into turn 1. So now Nickel can be head down and drive his way forward. Oh, Daly just a little bit late on the brakes and almost made contact with Nickel there. Very, very close. Got a replay here.
Oh, so Jace Douglas was given the penalty. Is that what Jace was given the penalty for? Must have been, right? Oh, there's a bit of contact with him and
so
Stephen. And Jace came across to dodge the car in front of him and put Stephen and Coward into the wall. Could have been contact with Stephen that he was penalised for, as it did look like they were bumping and rubbing right before that incident.
Yeah, Chase was in front, so I mean, I couldn't see much because my replay started spazzing out, but I couldn't see much of what was going on there, so I'll bite my tongue and wait till the end of the race when I can go back and have a look at the incident itself.
Oh,
that's Weston.
Weston's off. That's not what he wanted right now. Plummeting down now 15 spots from where he started.
It was off the pole.
Yeah, crikeys.
So I wonder what's happened there. Why was Weston off the track?
That's him coming back on track. Okay, I don't have an off track.
I'm going to rewind it here. He's a long way off.
Oh, there's two off.
Oh, there's Daly off too. Oh, hang on. So Daly's just run deep himself. Daly's just run brakes too late, and Weston's just followed him. Weston's unfortunately made contact with a wall, and it's definitely got some left front damage. I'm sure. But Crosby now, 9.6 seconds in the lead. That gap has stabilised though since Nickel's been released. At the moment, Crosby will be hoping for no safety car. Crosby can just do what he needs at the moment. This would, based on the points allocation, I think almost put Crosby in for a...
150 points on offer tonight.
Is it 50 for the sprint and 100 for the...
I do believe so.
So at the moment, Nickel will still advance that lead, given he's second and he's first in the sprint, and then second at the moment. So that will definitely advance his lead outside of 1 point, given that Crosby wasn't second in the first race.
Kennedy making a dive on Nielsen there as well.
Daly into the pits.
He did get around him there as well. Nielsen starting to get a whole train of drivers backing up on him right now.
Big battle pack behind Nielsen. Oh, Sipple. That was all four wheels off, and so was Mark Houghton there. We're going to be 3 wide down here. Taylor just makes the smart decision just to sit there and not make it 3 wide. So they're going to be tears if that happened. Taylor, though, got a good run through turn 4. SR boys battling it out. Daly had just come out of pit, so Cowan has the fresh rubber. Sorry, the warm rubber.
Crosby is still pushing that gap. Still pushing that gap. As we see Liam tipping here. Right where he started from the grid in P17th. With Reese to go in front of him, down 12 spots. Something huge has happened. Nope, guys are just entering the pits. It tells me that they crash as they enter the pits, which is really annoying. There must be a section of this track where it goes, oh, you're not on the track anymore.
Yeah, that'll be down into the pit lane because you pull off at the exit of turn 11. So you carry a lot of speed through turn 11 if you are taking the pit lane. There is definitely undercut on offer, I'd say. That's why drivers are pitting early. It's not a high fuel use track, it's actually reasonably low. If you look at, I suppose you could calculate it in litres per kilometre as such.
Hodgson made a move down west and on the inside there, pulls it off really nicely. Weston still falling through the field. Puff of smoke in front of him. I think that's from Lawn. See Hodgkin. No, Weston now getting a really good run out of that corner on the back of Hodgkinson.
Hodgkinson just set it maybe a little bit too deep down into turn 1. Weston didn't follow him all that much. Shows the nose. Hodgkinson just gives him enough space in case he wanted to go for it. Break out Crosby to Nichols, come down a little bit further. Oh, Hodgkinson's off. He's off a long way off track there. Just unsettled the car as he came over the humps of turn 6. Look like. Just Burridge up 12 spots at the moment. Running in 10th. In behind Brett Taylor.
Expect to see some pit strategies starting soon.
Nickel here continuing to bang in good laps. 4/10ths faster on that last lap than Darren Crosby, so continuing to bang in faster laps. Crosby and Nickel have matching best lap times.
119.37 each.
So the two championship protagonists now, 1 point apart, really putting the pace on. That's Marnie with Tipping, who's a lap down in front.
Which is
Marnie
pulling Dooley onto the back of Marnie as well.
Yeah. It won't be too long until Marnie goes, come on, mate. Step aside. You got the blue flags. Be still leading, but that gap continuing to come down. Nichol's now got just taken another 6/10ths out of him this lap. Just gone. So we could be on at this rate. I think we might be close to seeing a battle in the last couple of laps for the lead of the race. If things continue as they are under green. Pavlovich up 12 spots into 6th, running a very clean race at the moment. Chris Burridge was just running slow out of turn 4.
Yeah, lost control, ran the dirt, got a bit sideways, and Lorne there was able to take full advantage of it.
And they're going at it again here. Mark Houghton is in the pit lane.
Taylor as well. The start of our first lot of pit stops, I dare say.
I think we might have already had some. I think people might be pitting early. This is what we'd expect for an even tyre strategy, but we had a lot of drivers who had already stopped. Kennedy, Cowan, albeit some of those were due to damage, but there's some drivers there who stopped off sequence anyway. Weston's recovered up to 10th at the moment. Still pit stops to play out here. Nickel another 4/10ths faster again on that last lap. Douglas just trying to drive a recovery here. Yet to pit. With Burridge and McKee coming in now. Race just settling into a bit of a rhythm now. A couple of close battles, especially Dooley and Vigor. Everyone just settling in, trying to make sure they bang in consistent lap times. Getting ready for their pit stops. Crosby with a little bit of lap traffic to deal with. The Marnie's coming to the pit lane, along with Dooley. We'll look and see where Dooley and Marnie filter out here. Top line of Stern in the box. Marnie drops first, Dooley a little bit behind. Marnie coming out of pits, Douglas goes past him. Will stay in front of Kennedy though. Where does Dooley pop out? In front of Kennedy as well, but Kennedy's got the speed, got the momentum. Kennedy, one of our early stoppers on lap 9. Travis Nielsen into the pits. Darren Crosby also into the pits. Nichols stays out another lap. Go. Crosby still stationary in his box. Sipple and Weston duck in as well. Crosby's rolling. Has a decent gap on Marnie. That's for sure. Marnie gets past Douglas, who's in the pits now as well. That gap between Crosby and Marnie is sitting around 13 seconds. So Nickel will be looking to bang in some very, very fast laps right now.
The same with Crosby and Pavlovich as well, about 12.5 seconds.
Yeah, of course, Pavlovich hasn't stopped yet, so that gap is kind of not realistic or not what we'd expect to see. Waiting for Pavlovich to pit. Nichols in the pits. So here we go. Here's the big pit stop. How much time can Nichols save on pit lane? Team well. Rolling here. Figures in. Do we see Pavlovich in this lap? Yep, Pavlovich as well. So we're going to have a cleansed field. Nichols stationary. Crosby coming through the last corner now. Nichols still stationary now. He's rolling. See Nickel there. So Nickel, we'll have a look at that gap once they get through the first lot of timing splits. See what the interval is. Like it's about 5 seconds or so. So I think Nickel has made up a decent bit of ground there through the pit stop sequence. Although that 2-second gain, it looks like, was all in the pit stop itself. Nickel 14.28 and Crosby 16.78, so 2.5 seconds between Nickel and Crosby stationary time in the pit lane.
It's 5 seconds between them on track right now. Nickel is, I was going to say, he's slowly pulling that in, but with a slight mistake there. He's jumped
just needs to let his tyres come up. Just needs to let the tyres come up to temperature. And he started to bang in laps. Crosby now having to go through a lot of that traffic that he went through earlier. Having to go through that again. Marnie in third, about 9 seconds off. Bigger and Dooley not too far behind him though. See Steven Singovic pull off to the left-hand side to let everyone through. Just locks up his brakes as he heads through turn one. A little bit distracted from cars behind. Kennedy trying to fight his way forward. That gap between Crosby and Nichols come down 3 or 4 tenths already. It continues to drop. Keep our eye on that battle between first and second, because we are definitely going to see a battle for the win here. Based on the rate that Nichols is catching Crosby. Crosby's teammate Stephen Kennedy on screen here. Just making his way through turn 9. Winton this week, and then next week we're off to, where are we off to? Oschersleben next week. So we get to do chicanes all over again. Nice track, Oschersleben, good bit of fun. And then 2 great wide open racetracks to finish in Red Bull and Jerez. De had a moment. De been off track, been passed by 3 cars. Get a replay of what's happened here for him. Picks up the throttle while sitting on top of the curb, and unfortunately he's off into the infield after turn 8, turn 9. Comes back on, but yeah, loses 3 spots as a result. I kept my eye on Stephen Kennedy here to see whether he pits again. Roy Sibble running in 10th, up 6 spots, so running nicely there. Just got Burridge and McKee coming down behind him fairly quickly. That gap between Crosby and Nicholas stabilised a bit at 4.8 seconds. Benefit of this racetrack though is that you can see the driver in front, and you can see him for a lot of the racetrack as he's switching back around these corners. Winton is a great track for watching at. Surprisingly, a lot of people will say that Winton is not a great. In supercars anyway, Winton's too tight for supercars. There's not enough space for these cars. Douglas and Tipping going out for 14th. There are some great vantage points around here to see cars. Given it's all open, there's no obstructions in the middle of the track. You get some really good vantage points, especially if you sit anywhere on that back straight out of 9 to 10. You can see most of the infield. You can see all the way through turn 1, most of turns 2, 3, 4. Definitely see them through 5, and then as they switch back around the tree at turn 8. A couple of very good vantage points. You can camp all the way along that back straight too, ShiBBy. Out of 9. That's all camping.
Might be heading over that way in the next year, so
Ooh.
might have to see if there's any events on.
Well, there's definitely club days quite regularly. Regional Victoria, just about 10 minutes off the Hume Freeway. learned and run track in real life. Even just sitting on the outside there of the exit of turn 8. Not wanting to get in anyone's way. Trying to do his best to let cars through. Burridge looking for Sipple here. Crosby has just opened up that gap ever so slightly. About 5.5 seconds. Wonder if Nichols just been caught up in a little bit of traffic, just trying to get around him. Nichols got clear track, so wonder if he's just looking after his tyres.
Just behind him, he was lap traffic. Maybe he did have to deal
it was
with
Nielsen. So not Nielsen behind
sorry,
him?
it was Nielsen.
Yeah, because Daly's out.
Bloody 2 Travises.
And there's 77 and 777. Oh, Newen's going very slowly here. Wonder if that's just, that's just blue flag. So a difficult spot when you catch all the drivers as they come through in a big train like that to manage where you need to be sitting. Yeah, Crosby another 6/10 faster on that last lap as well. So that gap just slowly opening in favour of Darren Crosby. Time running out for Nickel to make a challenge. Nickel at the moment where he's sitting will still take out the round win. And will ever so slightly extend his points haul up the front. Mark Hooton up 14 spots. Pavlovich is coming at him though. You can see Mark Hooton just making sure he jams on the brakes in a straight line. See if he does it through here as well, through turn 8. Yep, straight as he applies the brakes and then trails off to get the car in the corner. Easy on the throttle, doesn't want to over-excite the rear tyres. Does that nicely. Trails it into turn 10. Nice and easy on the throttle, so just keeping it nice and straight.
Travis Daly had to retire due to internet connection issues. Thanks for dropping in and letting us know that, Ed.
Tell you what, whilst it's annoying to get internet connection issues, I'd rather deal with those than have to worry about bringing up sponsorship money to pay for real life racing.
Yeah, the TCR series in America is $100,000 just to race one season. That's USD, by the way.
Well, that sounds low.
It is. It is, yeah. Donut Media did an episode.
That sounds a lot lower than I was expecting.
So like 190,000.
Oh, Taylor! Bit excited on the loud pedal and unfortunately lost it into the infield. Out of turn 9, drops a few spots down into 13th. Now, Crosby is catching Cowan as lap traffic. Is that going to play a part towards the end of this race in Nickel catching up? I don't think so. I think that gap's too big. And Cowie, you're not so average sim racer, ever the gentleman, will knows the blue flag rules and will definitely be sliding out the way if Crosby does catch.
Keep dropping back to this battle with Chris Burridge and Troy Zipper, because this will be a battle for P9. Final 3.5 minutes of the race tonight.
Three M1 racing cars in the 10 at the moment, though. It's a good result for those M1 racing cars. Have started this season very, very strongly indeed. It's a new team coming on board. With a great exit. Tipple just had to catch the car.
Big flick there from Zipper.
Have 2 laps to go, I think. He's just fallen off the back ever so slightly, just outside a second now. Kennedy has ducked into the pit, so couldn't make it home. Stopped on lap 9 and done what he could. Unfortunately can't make it home, so I'll drop well outside where he'd like to finish. It should only be a splash though to get him home. Oh, Nikovich might have missed his braking point there. Darren Crosby coming across to take the white flag. There's Barney on the left-hand side. Knows he's got 5 seconds in hand, so can just take it nice and easy. Hearing him being very patient on the throttle. Gap between Crosby and Nickel is already down to 4.7. So he's definitely taking it easy, being very easy on the throttle, just bringing home the car now for points. Be a very decent haul of points, but with Nickel's result in race 1, that gap should open up a little bit more. Darren Crosby has run a very, very good race tonight. Will come home to take home the feature race win here at Winton. Tim Nickel will come home in second and take home the round win. Doing very nicely for his points haul for this season. Joe Marnie, very consistent race again. Comes home in third. He'll be happy with that result. In the end, Rick Vigor comes home fourth. Very well done there as well. Troy Dooley comes home in 5th. Mark Houghton up 14 spots into 6th. Padar Pavlovich and will come home in P7. Troy Sipple will just hold on to P8 with Chris Burridge, only 1.5 tenths behind him. Lorne McKee in 10th. Scott Weston in 11th, down 10 spots after taking the reverse grid pole. Brett Taylor comes home in 12th, only a 10th between Weston and Taylor as well. Douglas will come home in 13th. Stephen Kennedy in 14th. Callan Hodgkinson will hold out over Reece DeGoey and Andrew Cowan. PSR boys didn't have a feature race. They would like to have that back again, I'm sure. Liam Tipping should come home in 18th. But that will do us in racing for this evening. Darren Crosby takes home the win, 4.5 seconds over Tim Nicol. He's just coming up to the line now. Joe Marnie in 3rd. Yeah, I think we can both decide on driver of the day from the outset, can't we?
Mark
if you look at positions in a quiet race, yeah, Mark Houghton.
Yeah.
Very quiet race, very consistent, but has done himself everything he needed to do. Coming home in 6th there, up 14 spots from where he started, so a very decent haul there for him. Nice, clean race. Boys will light up the rear tyres. Give us a smoke show. Fishtails all the way up. He's got the brakes locked. They're not doing anything. No, the brake marker boards were destroyable. How was Joe ended up all the way down there?
He's doing reverse downwards.
Definitely collected a wall, you can see. The left rear bumper is has seen better days. Or surely he's not going to hit Tim. Oh, he does! We were waiting for it to happen. Darren's very happy with that result, isn't he? Well, we are just waiting for Joe to join the green room. And then we will jump into our podium interviews this evening. And he's there. We'll give them a couple of minutes just to congratulate each other. But yes, I think it was quite a good race this evening. Pretty clean. Lap 1 in the heat race was a little bit going on there, but other than that, pretty clean race. No safety cars yet again, so a very good performance from all the drivers. Alrighty, let's get Joe in here. Joe, mate, well done on another P3 result. Is that you had third in the first race as well? So very well done, mate. Give us your thoughts on that one.
Survive it. Try not to make any mistakes. I was kind of holding on for dear life most of the time. I had nowhere near the pace of those two in front of me, that one. And Tim and Kennedy had way too much pace in the first race as well. And the seas kind of parted at the start of that one. And it's just a matter of keeping in control of it and staying on the black stuff.
Keep your nose clean.
Yeah, exactly. For a pretty straightforward track, it's definitely a case of that. You just, lock a brake at the wrong time, which I did plenty of tonight. It can send you off. It's just a matter of keeping it on track and, come away with the result.
No, it was it was good to see you having a bit of fun out there for sure. Running, even though it was probably a bit of a quiet race for you overall, just keeping your nose clean throughout. Look, it's a good return back onto the podium for you. We know that the last couple of weeks, I mean, last week you had an all right result as well, but I know you'll be hoping to a little bit further forward. But these two at the front, you said they got too much pace and they showed it tonight. Two championship protagonists. But look, you're still in the hunt, mate. You're still sitting, I think you probably end up being about 6th after this race. So it's still a pretty decent result given all the season that you've had so far, ups and downs.
Yeah, there's been plenty of ups and downs. I'm on holidays next week, so that'll be my drop round. So it's, I'll need some things to go my way to get back in the hunt after next week. But I look forward to seeing Nickel, Kennedy, Crosby, Douglas, those guys battle it out at the top there. So interesting to see how this season finishes up. It has been a pretty good one, very entertaining. But it's good to be back up and talking to you guys at the end of the night.
It's great to. It's always great to have you jump in the box, mate. It's. I do enjoy having a chat with you. I think both ShiBBy and I are a bit low on energy. Seemed like there was a lot going on in the race, but it was like it's Winton. So, what are your thoughts on Winton in terms of a racetrack?
I'm very glad not to see this place again for a while. It was the first track I did a league race on, and then the second Scops event. So I think before this event, I think I'd already done like 800 laps around here or something ridiculous like that. I don't really want to see it again. You'd think I'd be a lot quicker after that many laps, but it doesn't quite happen like that.
It's it's definitely a difficult track to master. I'd say it's quick, it's short, it's technical, it's narrow, it's got big curbs. They can bounce the car anywhere, especially through turn 6. We saw that tonight. Look, next week, it's your drop round next week, but we are off to Oschersleben next week, which I'm sure you're frustrated you won't be able to get some practice in, given Scops is coming up as well at the end of the month. But then we'll be back for Red Bull Ring. So I suppose Red Bull, have you done any running now? Scops to go there? No, Scops haven't gone there this season. They did last year. I haven't done any. I don't even think I own it. So it's going to be, I think when I get back, I'll have 2 nights to learn it, and then it'll be straight into it. So I suppose there's just a lot of
deep end with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of loud pedal at Red Bull. So I think it should be a lot of fun. Very big drafting track in these cars for sure. So there'll definitely be some low downforce going on. But look, mate, we'll miss you next week, but enjoy your holiday. And we'll see you back at Red Bull Ring, ready and raring to go. I'll give you a chance to thank all your sponsors.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll definitely be tuning in and tipping on next week. Firstly, thank Team Race on Oz for all the help getting me back up onto the podium. To JTIT, PC Consultants, Gutter Night, BE Electrical and Solar, to the gamesman, to ignition controls, to Pagnian Selby acoustics, and thank you to SRW for putting this on, and thank you to you guys. I look forward to watching the broadcast back.
No worries at all, mate. We will see you hopefully back in here in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I hope so. Cheers, boys. Catch you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, mate. Alrighty, and we'll get our round winner in now. I think he's our round winner. Tim Nickel, mate. Well done on your race 1 win, and then P2 in this one. Had to come through the field though.
Yes, thanks, guys. Yeah, not too bad. I used the same setup as last time we raced here, SRW. I think Jet was in that league, so I plugged it in, put it in, and car seemed reasonably hooked up. But yeah, no, got a good qual, got away on the first one. But yes, the second one, I was very lucky. I think it was Lorne who was sideways. Went down the inside, and then trying to get around Scotty Weston and Travis, I think it was. They didn't make it easy, and this track, as you know, it's not an easy one, and I think it was up to nearly 11 seconds. Crosby was in front. I was like, yeah, it's a big ask.
Well, you were pulling it down before your pit stop, like it was slowly coming down, and then it just seemed like I know iRacing doesn't model it, but it looked like you got a bad set of tyres for that second one. You just couldn't catch Darren in the end.
A good set of tyres, pumped out at 18 to get the quickest lap. So now what happened was I got out there and I drove reasonably hard, and seeing that I think I made a couple of seconds in the pit stop and went either go hard, and then I looked at my fuel and went, I might have not short fueled it, but you always want to do a burnout. So I made sure there was enough fuel. And I was like, coming second and getting, I think you get bonus points for the quickest lap. So I was like, I'll take the bonus points for the quick lap and be happy with second in the feature, take the win overall and still do a burnout. So yeah, no, I tried and then I just conceded.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I was eager to see whether you'd be able to challenge for the race win at the end and really give us a fight. But if you short field the car, then that was always a tall order, I suppose, given you wanted to do a burnout anyway. So
yeah, well, I've seen because Crosby's not slow. He was doing 19.6s there, I think, in those last half a dozen laps, and I was like, I can't make half a second, over the next 5 laps. So yeah, I did think of you guys in the back of my head going, just push hard, Tim, and chip away 2 tenths, 2 tenths, 2 tenths. But you know what that's like at this track, one wheel in the dirt, and yeah, Joe Mahoney would be on my rear, and we know it would happen then. He makes me crash. That bloke makes me crash.
We've seen you and him, though, have some great battles over the last 2 seasons. So I would have been all for it. Just saying. Just keep that in mind. You don't have to deal with him next week, though. He's on holidays next week. So
there you go. I don't even know, where are we? Jeez.
Oschersleben.
Oh, I'd never driven that track. Oh shit. And my sister's in town, so yeah, I don't think we get much practice. Anyway.
No. What can I say it's like? It's reasonably flat. There's a couple of chicanes. A little bit more open than Winton. Just to prepare yourself.
Oh mate, it can't be any worse than the Winton that makes you go dizzy. The amount of old guys in our team that were complaining about vertigo. It's like, come on, guys, seriously, get some ginger. I think Pecky was not going to run. Mark Peck was not going to run because it was messing with his seasickness.
Bouncing up over the curbs and always turning.
Yeah, too many right. Dear.
Anyway, Yeah, so Oschersleben next week. You're sitting pretty in the championship. You've opened up that gap ever so slightly over Darren now, with, 3 rounds to go. We've got Oschersleben, then we're off to Red Bull Ring, and then Jerez to finish. So some tracks that haven't been run very often in SRW that I can remember over the last couple of weeks. So very much looking forward to see how you all go next week, especially you without a whole lot of practice. But well done again tonight, mate. That was a great performance, opening up that championship lead ever so slightly from that 1 point that you entered with this week. So big charge coming forward for the last 3 rounds, I'm sure, against Darren, who's shown his pace. I'll give you a chance to thank all your sponsors, mate.
Cheers, guys. Just first of all, congrats to the podium. Sips from Quantum Tint Solutions, Mark from Pecky's, Daniel from West Oz Roofs, Tim Nickel Photography. Check it out. Had good racing here in Darwin over the weekend, so some good photos getting around social media, some quick guys. But yeah, and you guys, broadcast, amazing job as always, so something for me to watch tomorrow. Organisers of the league and all the other competitors, thank you. That was good. And yes, Darren is keeping me honest.
He sure is, and I'm sure that he's not backing down, and he won't back down without a fight. So I'm very much looking forward to see what the last 3 rounds bring, mate. Good luck, go well. Hopefully you can get in a bit of practice during the week and show up on Tuesday night and really show us what you got.
No worries, guys. Too easy. Thank you.
Alrighty, and we'll jump to our feature race winner, Darren Crosby, sitting second in the championship. Darren, mate, well done on getting the feature race win tonight. 3 M1 Racing cars in the top 10 as well in that feature race, so a great performance by your team.
Yeah, the boys had a good practice session. It was good. I didn't realise they were in the top 10, and three of us in the feature.
Yep, 3 of you in the feature race, all in the top 10.
Oh, great, fantastic. Oh, that's good. I was lucky to get the win, I think, because Timmy got held up on the first 10 or 15 laps, and I got a good start there. So just that little bit of a buffer I had near the end of the race, so he just couldn't get to me.
Yeah, you'd managed to open up that gap whilst he was stuck in traffic early on.
Yeah, I got it out to about 8 seconds, and then when I pitted, I overfueled. I came home with about 4 or 5 laps of fuel too much. But
that's why you were doing massive big burnouts, because you had the fuel to use it.
Yeah, that's it. I saved it up.
Well, I don't know if you spoke to Tim, but he kind of felt like he underfueled because he wanted to do a burnout. So so that's why in the second stint he got the gap down to like 4.5 seconds, and then it opened again because he looked at his fuel and he went, "Nah, I want to do a burnouts at the end." So that's why the gap slowly opened back up again.
Yeah, well, that's why we're in it. We're in it for the burnouts.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't get him unless you're in the top 3.
Yeah. Not trying to maximise his championship opportunities by just bringing home a clean race, but just wanted to get in and do some sick skids at the end.
Nah, he raced really well tonight. He qualified well, and yeah. Anyway, it's good. I got away with the win in the feature.
Yeah, big good points haul there. Couldn't quite close up those points hauls, so the gap has just opened ever so slightly outside of the 1 point that you entered with. But there's 3 rounds left to go in this championship, and you put yourself right in contention. Oschersleben coming up next week.
Right.
Any thoughts?
I don't think I've raced there before.
I don't think you're the only one who hasn't.
I won't be practicing 5 minutes before the race, let's say.
No, well, if you can do more than, I think Tim was saying he's probably only going to get about 2 hours worth of practice. So I think that's on for you and him to really take you to each other heading into next week. Might be an opportunity for you to capitalise.
I hope so. But I do enjoy racing against Timmy and the PPR boys. M1 and PPR are pretty close. But the boys were a bit quiet this week, so obviously we are a bit close up the top there. So we're not
Little bit of a threat,
so
don't give
friendly
me
over
anything.
the next couple of races. So
Yeah. Look, mate, it's a pretty quick fire run home. 3 weeks left in this championship, and I'm very keen to see what you and the rest of the M1 boys can cook up against the Peckies guys. There's still a couple of other drivers who are definitely in with the shout, in and around you and Tim at the top. So some threats still to look out for. But look, mate, you've done everything you can tonight. Keep yourself in the hunt. So well done on that feature race win. There will be a prize package coming from Tempting Sweets as well.
Oh, thank you.
To all
Thanks
the
very
podium
much.
getters. So I think if ShiBBy
Just first place.
isn't in touch with you already. Sorry, ShiBBy?
It's just first place and driver of the day.
Just first place and driver of the day. So there you go. You'll be getting
Did I get
a
both
little
of them,
prize
did I?
package. No. We've given driver of the day to someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, you just managed to hold gain 1 position or something in the end, and the guy we're giving it to gained 14 throughout the race. So, I mean,
That's good.
it was a great drive. Don't get me wrong.
No, that's fine. No, mate, I'm happy with that. I didn't expect to get anything. It's just a pleasure being in this league and racing with these boys. I really do enjoy it.
Mate, I enjoy watching. I'm sure ShiBBy can say the same. We both enjoy watching you boys race as hard as you can and giving us a great show. So, thank you very much for coming along each and every week and making a championship out of it. I will give you a quick chance to thank all of your sponsors, mate.
Okay, yeah, of course. M1 News Cars down at Springwood there. Also, my teammates, M1 Racing, and and this league. Like I said last week, it's a fantastic league and really enjoy racing in it. And you guys too. Thank you.
No worries, mate. It's we couldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you guys on track. So thank you very much again for putting on a show for us to commentate on. Mate, right. Go well during the week. Get some practice in. And we look forward for your challenge on the championship.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it.
And that was the night that was, ShiBBy. A great race won by Darren Crosby in that feature race. Tim Nicol bringing home first in the sprint and second in the feature and fastest lap as well to get himself a good haul of points tonight. Put himself right in the box seat for this championship. Joe Marnie comes home in third in that feature. Rick Vigor in fourth. Good recovery from the sprint race. Troy Dooley in fifth, managing to hold on there. Mark Houghton and Petar Pavlovich only 5/10 between them. So that was another close finish. And then Sipple and Burridge and McKee all within a second of each other as well. So another close finish there to round out the top 10. Mark Houghton, you are our driver of the day for your stellar drive during that feature race, up 14 spots, finished 6th. A very, very clean race indeed. ShiBBy, mate, that was a good race.
It was, mate. It was. Forwards.
You sound a little bit out of it.
Oh, man, I'm just burning out. Family man, studying, 2 jobs. I'm starting to find a limit, I think. So thanks for picking up the slack tonight, mate. I really do appreciate it.
You're right. You're right.
I did every broadcast last week, so I think that that hasn't helped either. But it's been good fun.
Right, you better make sure you get your energy up for Tuesday in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see how many assessments I've got due, because I've got 4 due by the 27th of August, so...
jeez. Jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, mate, it was a good race. Sorry it wasn't on the comms as much, but huge shout out to, of course, simrigs.com for naming rights sponsor for our V8 Supercars Am and Pro Am Series. Warren and Brown Tools for being absolute legends and jumping on board for every single series round sponsor. Absolute champions. Go check out Warren and Brown Tools. Well over 40 years of Australian-owned company there and located in Melbourne. Safety cars sponsored by the promo department. You get to see that tonight. Thank you so much to Racecraft, of course, for the fastest lap and pole position, our qualifying session, and all our top 10 shootouts. And we can't do it without Grim Industry, home of the V8 coffee tables, who are making up our beautiful trophies for our season champions. TemptingSweets.com.au. Use code SRW10 at checkout to get a sweet, sweet deal off those sweet, sweet treats. Rare Spares, of course, couldn't do it without them. Shannon's Insurance as well. Absolute huge shout out to those awesome lads for coming on this season to help continue support SRW, our broadcast, our leagues, and our drivers. That is it for tonight. We are going to wrap up this broadcast by saying stay safe and drive hard.
Race hard.
Right, yeah, race hard. Yeah, I'm definitely tired.